When your adult children stop respecting you, here are 6 things you can do to take back your dignity. No. 1. Don't make it personal. It's very important because it's easy for us to think that our children do unrespect us because they not treating us well. But in reality, there could be many other reasons why your adult child is acting in disrespectful ways. Perhaps they're going through a difficult time in their life right now. Maybe they have financial problems or relationship problems. Or maybe they're just stressed out from work or school. Whatever the reason, try not to take it personally. Instead, try to put yourself in their shoes and see things from their point of view. After all, we've all done things that we later regretted saying or doing when we were under a lot of stress or pressure. So before you say or do something that you might regret, take a deep breath and count to 10. This will help you to stay calm and rational, so that you can handle the situation in a mature and appropriate way. If you keep a level head while your child is losing theirs, then you'll have regained some respect from them. And if you lose your temper and start yelling at them, you'll only dig yourself into a deeper hole. Number 2. Don't give them any attention. Sometimes we may think that our children are disrespecting us simply because they are not spending as much time with us as we would like them to. We may feel ignored or unimportant, and this can lead to resentment. However, it's important to remember that our children are individuals with their own lives to lead. They need space to grow and learn, and sometimes that means being apart from us. When our children were young, we gave them constant attention, whether it was carrying them around, talking to them about their day, or helping them with their homework. We were always there for them, and that showed them that we loved them. But now that they're older, they need more independence. If we continue to give them the same amount of attention that we gave to them when they were younger, they may start to resent us. They may feel like we smothering them or trying to control their lives, and this can lead to conflict. The best way to avoid this is to give them space. Let them come to you for help when they need it, instead of always being there. When they come to you for advice or help, listen to them and try to be supportive. But don't take it personally if they do want to talk to you or spend time with you. Just respect their wishes and give them the space they need. This doesn't mean that you love them any less. In fact, it's quite the opposite. By giving them space, you showing them that you trust them and believe in their ability to handle things on their own. This will ultimately lead to a stronger, healthier relationship with your adult child. No. 3. Don't feel sorry for yourself. When our adult children are disrespectful to us, it can be easy to feel sorry for ourselves. After all, we've raised them and loved them for years, and this is how they repay us. But feeling sorry for ourselves is not going to solve anything. It's important to remember that our children are individuals, and they will treat us in the way that they feel comfortable. If they feel that we are weak or ineffective, they will treat us accordingly. However, if we exude strength and confidence, they will be more likely to respect us. Therefore, when our adult children are disrespectful to us, the best thing we can do is to ignore it and move on. Of course, this is easier said than done. But it's important to remember that by giving in to their demands or getting angry, we are only reinforcing their negative behavior. The only way to stop this cycle is to break it. When our adult children are disrespectful to us, we need to ignore it and move on. This doesn't mean that we condone their behavior or that we don't care about the situation. It simply means that we need to focus on ourselves and our own happiness, rather than dwelling on our children's negativity. We need to show them that we are strong, confident people who are not going to be controlled by their behavior. This does not mean that you should allow disrespectful behavior to continue unchecked. You should still set boundaries and enforce consequences when necessary. But when dealing with disrespectful behavior, it is important to remain calm and collected. Getting angry or resorting to threats will only escalate the situation. Instead, try to understand their perspective and see things from their point of view. Oftentimes, disrespectful behavior is a result of underlying issues that need to be addressed. By taking the time to understand the root of the problem, you can better deal with the situation and find a resolution that works for everyone involved. Remain calm and assertive when setting boundaries and enforcing consequences. By doing so, you will show them that you are a strong, confident parent who is not going to be intimidated by their behavior. No. For focus on self-improvement. When our adult children are disrespectful to us, it can be easy to focus on their negative behavior and feel angry or hurt. However, a better approach is to focus on our own self-improvement and personal growth. This can help us to become more positive and resilient in the face of adversity, and ultimately lead to happier, healthier lives. There are a few key areas that we can focus on to improve ourselves. The first is our physical health. We are healthy, we are better able to cope with stress and difficult situations. So make sure to eat well, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. Another important area is our mental health. We can improve our mental health by practicing mindfulness, meditation, or other relaxation techniques. We can also seek professional help if we are struggling with anxiety or depression. Our emotional health is another important area that we can focus on improving. We can learn to manage our emotions better by practicing self-awareness and empathy. We can also develop healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with difficult situations. Finally, we should focus on improving our spiritual health. This can involve connecting with a higher power through prayer, meditation, or other spiritual practices. Improving our spiritual health can give us a sense of purpose and meaning in life, which can help us to cope with difficult situations more easily. By focusing on these 4 areas of self-improvement, we can become more resilient in the face of adversity and better equipped to handle challenging situations. When our adult children are disrespectful to us, it can be tempting to focus on their behavior and let it consume our thoughts. However, this is not a productive or helpful way to approach the situation. Instead, we should focus on our own self-improvement and personal growth. This will not only help us to become more positive and resilient, but it will also show our children that we are strong, independent people who are not going to be defined by their behavior. No. 5. Spend less time together. As parents, it's natural to want to spend as much time as possible with our children, especially when they're young. However, as they grow up and become adults, we need to start pulling back and giving them the space they need to live their own lives. Spending too much time together can often lead to tension and conflict, and it can make it difficult for both parents and children to maintain their own individual identities. When adult children are disrespectful to their parents, one solution is to spend less time together. This may seem counterintuitive, but spending less time together can actually be beneficial for both parties. When parents and adult children spend too much time together, they may start to feel like they're suffocating each other. Adult children may start to feel like their parents are invading their privacy or controlling their lives, while parents may start to feel like they're not being respected by their adult children. When this happens, it can lead to tension and conflict within the family unit. Spending less time together can help to alleviate this tension and conflict. It gives adult children the space they need to live their own lives, and it gives parents the opportunity to focus on their own interests and hobbies. Of course, this doesn't mean that parents should cut their adult children out of their lives. They should still be there for them emotionally and be willing to lend a helping hand when needed. But it does mean that they need to start setting boundaries and respecting their adult children's need for independence. By spending less time together, parents and adult children can maintain a healthy and respectful relationship. No. 6. Seek support from others. When our adult children are disrespectful to us, it can be easy to feel isolated and alone. However, it's important to remember that we're not in this situation alone, and there is support available. Reaching out to others for help is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of strength and maturity. When we share our experiences with others, we can gain new perspectives and insights that we may not have considered before. We can also receive emotional support and comfort from those around us. This can help us to process our emotions in a healthy way and move forward in a positive direction. Additionally, seeking support from others can help us to develop a strong network of friends and allies who can offer guidance and assistance when we need it. Having a strong support system can make a significant difference in how we cope with difficult situations and can help us to become more resilient in the face of adversity. Therefore, when our adult children are disrespectful to us, we should not hesitate to reach out to others for help. By doing so, we can gain the support and guidance we need to navigate this challenging situation successfully. If you agree with these points, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate your feedback. Thanks for watching. See you next time.